Hey yo guys, it's me HappyCairek and welcome to Last on Earth Survival 20 important tips that you have to know about the game. So first tip is to not use your electronic circuits at the police department. Because as soon as you start using your electronic circuits at the police department, drop rate of those badges starts decreasing. I've tested that myself on the live stream, and what I can say for sure is that the first 10 waves are gonna drop you less brown cards if you are gonna use your electronic circuits. So second very simple and important tip is to keep your base organized at all the time. Some of you might say, well, Zach, this is a very simple tip. And yes, indeed, whilst it's super simple, but so many people just keep garbage in every single chest, and I've done that myself. And the truth to be told, that every single day you're just gonna waste, like, let's say a minute or two searching for that required item, and in a couple of weeks that time is just gonna accumulate. But if you're gonna keep all your items in special chests, it will be super easy for me to go and find all the required resources, and believe me, that is gonna save you a lot of time. So just spend 10-20 minutes of your time right now today to organize your base, and tomorrow and after tomorrow you're gonna thank yourself. I promise you that. Tip number 3 is going to be about how you should be able to get your copper bars and steel bars. So the most obvious way how to get copper bars is going to be to go to the northern zone and grind for that copper ore. But a lot of people maybe do not know this, but take your batteries, take your cameras, take your watches, also your wrenches. And there's a lot of other stuff that are gonna give you copper or steel, but these ones are gonna be the most common ones. You can also maybe try luck with your ATV wheels, with these truck saw blade maces, right? Also, these heat sensors are really awesome as well. And now look what happens when we go to the recycler. So when you're gonna place batteries, you see that you have a chance here to get copper bars, and I do know that you have to upgrade your electronics first to get that high of a chance of getting copper bars, but believe me, that is gonna save you a lot of weapons by not going to that northern zone. And when you recycle wrenches, you have 6% chance of getting steel bars. And for me, this wrench thingy is only at level 7, so for you, if you're gonna recycle enough wrenches, this number is only gonna grow. So tip number 4 is going to be about your doggos, and it is that you do not have to overfeed your dogs. So as you can see here, I have a lot of turkey, and the only reason why I have a lot of turkey is because I got a good rate, and at the same time I did not feed all of this turkey to the dogs at the same time. And truth to be told, you don't even have to feed your dogs all the time, because thanks God in Last on Earth Survival, dogs do not die, and only feed dogs when you need to get a buff. Otherwise, feeding dogs all the time is gonna consume all of your meat. So tip number 5 is going to be a pretty important tip, because it's about base building. So a lot of people want to craft the base, and as soon as they start out Last on Earth, they get the feeling that they have to craft their base like to the boundaries because the game allows that. But I feel that it's not how you're supposed to play the game, because if you want to craft your base here to the boundaries, it's gonna take you years and years to actually craft a decent base, and it's totally not worth it. So my best tip that I can give for you that you should do is, first of all, focus on crafting your racks. Racks are these double chests, and some of you might not even know how can you upgrade this chest to a double rack, to this rack I mean. So as soon as you craft the chest, then click on it, blah blah blah, and then up the top right corner you're gonna have this upgrade arrow. Click on it and it will show you what kind of resources you need to place to upgrade it to the next level. Rack has 75 slots, and it's insane value. And why am I saying all that is because you do not have to have a huge base in order to play the game. I highly suggest you focusing on your 3x3 steel room, and you might be like, Cyrek, you're crazy, it's impossible to craft 3x3 steel room, but I've crafted more than 3x3 steel room by myself without buying a single item from the shop, so it is totally possible to do that. This is how you're supposed to be crafting your steel room, right? I'm just showing you here. So this is how your 3x3 steel room is supposed to look like, and inside you can fit 9 racks. With 9 racks, you'll be able to fit 675 items, and that's gonna be more than enough of everything that you want to store. You'll be able to store enough wood, you'll be able to store enough of rare items, and then you'll be able to go for a raid. Because truth to be told, I keep a lot of crap in all of these trunks. I could most likely just go and delete probably this trunk, because I don't use most of these truck saw blade maces. I don't use these pieces of planks. I have a bunch of other stone garbage. I have a bunch of other garbage over here that I could just most likely delete and not even care about it. So 3x3 steel room is gonna be plenty for you to play the game, and it should be relatively quick. I would say if you're gonna play the game regularly, and if you're gonna follow all the tips that I said on how you're supposed to get the steel and copper bars, I think you should be able to craft your steel room maybe in 3 months, 4 or 5 months. But then you're gonna have basically unraidable base, and it's gonna be way faster than just crafting a stone base, because you'll need to repair your stone walls after raiders attack your base. So this is just a pretty important tip that I would do myself if I had to start to play this game from the beginning again. And some of you might have seen this tip miles away, but tip number 6 is to not exchange your green lieutenant cards into blue captain cards, because from 10 green cards you're gonna get 20 weapons, and those 20 weapons might be guns and might be melee weapons, and from 1 blue you're just gonna get 2 guns. So you're definitely gonna get better loot from 10 green, and it's gonna keep you rich. So do not exchange your green for blue, because you're just basically gonna burn all of your resources. It is super important. And tip number 7 is to use your coal for everything. Do not use your planks, because for those who do not know, planks last way less less than 1 piece of coal lasts. And for those who do not know, from 10 planks, you can get 20 pieces of charcoal. So for 1 plank, you get 2 pieces of charcoal, whilst 1 piece of charcoal lasts longer than 1 piece of plank. So if you are using planks to burn stuff, you're just seriously wasting your resources. Just seriously keep your 1 campfire busy with making charcoal, and this way you'll be able to use this charcoal for your refined melting furnace, for your carrots, or whatever other thing that you're planning to do. This is really important. A lot of players do not know this, but this is gonna save you a lot of wood. Just smelt that into coal. I can't stress that enough, how important that is and how many people do not know this. So tip number 8 is going to be quite simple one, but a lot of people keep asking, what is the best place to level up? And the best place to level up is going to be Bunker Alpha. Bunker Alpha is gonna give you a lot of guns. Bunker Alpha is gonna make you rich. Bunker Alpha is the key to success. And if you want to level up the fastest way and the most efficient way, then just grind that Bunker Alpha. There's a lot of zombies. These zombies are gonna give you experience. From these zombies, you're gonna get tickets, you're gonna get guns, and you will level up. That's what's the most important. So just grind that Bunker Alpha, and this is going to be the fastest way to level up. Tip number 9 is about energy drinks. So the best way to get energy drinks is just to go to the motel. So if you have some free time, make your character on walk to that motel. And as you can see, in 20 minutes, your character is going to be at that motel and you won't have to use any energy. So let's say if you have a break or just before your break ends, make your character to go to that motel. And as soon as your character arrives to motel, you're going to clear it super quickly. You don't even need to have here any weapons. It's super easy. Go and loot this countertop because this countertop has a chance of dropping an energy drink. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. And luckily, I got here an energy drink today. So for tip number 10, if you have your burglar skill, I highly, you have to, not even highly suggest you, but you have to go and loot this room, because in this room, you will be able to get 100% guaranteed grenade, at least in version 1.12.1. You'll be able to get here grenade all the time. So if you're going to motel, make sure to get your grenade and your energy drink. Other places in the motel, especially if you're an advanced player, aren't going to be that useful. So as a bonus tip, when you're at motel, make sure to go and loot this car because it's kind of easy and just takes like 5 seconds to loot. So just loot these 3 places in the motel and save literally 20 minutes of your time, because the rest of the loot in motel isn't really that worth it. You might get half the durability of the Glock, but if you're an advanced player, it's not going to be worth it. So tip number 11 is as soon as you assemble your chopper, start going to the gas station. There's going to be Jane, the mechanic. Start giving her items and she will start giving you bike blueprints. And with those bike blueprints, you will be able to upgrade your chopper. You will be able to unlock new choppers, such as off-road bikes. And after you get max level off-road bike, you're going to get 8 extra slots. Because currently when we go to our garage, you can see that my off-road bike is level 3. This is max level. And when I go and check my luggage, we have here 8 slots, whilst your simple off-road bike probably is just gonna have 6 or something. This is the max capacity luggage that your bike can have. So seriously, spend time into upgrading your off-road bike. Other bikes aren't really that important, so don't focus on them. Just focus on this bad boy. So tip number 12 is to save as many grenades and milk cores as possible. This is a milk core, aka grenade launcher, and use them up at police department. Because if you're gonna gather 20 grenades, those 20 grenades are gonna last you for 20 waves, and each grenade is gonna do a tremendous amount of damage to these zombies, and you'll just save up an insane amount of guns. So seriously, going to police department without milk cores, grenades, or without some active skill on your guns is just gonna be wasteful of weapons. So make sure to gather at least a couple of grenades and grenade launchers before you go to police department. So tip number 13 is really quite simple, but some people do not know that the best way to heal yourself in this game is to use carrots. Yes, indeed, is to use carrots, because carrots are really easily findable. What you have to do is just to go to the forest, pick up grass, and these grass are gonna give you seeds, and from 1 seed you're gonna get 2 carrots, and just go and cook your carrots over here on this furnace using coal, and you're gonna have enough healing items for everything. So seriously, if you struggle with healing items, this is the best method to get healing items. You can literally get hundreds and hundreds of carrots just by grinding these, let's say, green zones and picking up your carrot seeds. So tip number 14 is about guns, and as you can see, I have here a lot of guns. I have this one trunk of guns, I have here another trunk of guns, and I have here another trunk of guns, and plus I have more guns there on the other side of the base. And I got that many guns because I did not waste them on every single zombie. You need guns only to kill frenzy giants, to open up red crates, or to kill the blind one, and for police department. So my biggest tip is to not waste your guns on anything else besides frenzy giants, especially if you start off the game. Never, I repeat, never use your guns on such zombies as toxic spitters, roaming zombies, because you can deal with these zombies with melee weapon, and melee weapon is way easily obtainable than guns. So if you want to get rich, use your guns only on frenzy giants, at least in the beginning of the game until you're gonna advance, and then you will know where you have to use your guns. And tip number 15, if you're gonna get your infected box, this is how infected box looks like. And if you're gonna have your chopper, you'll be able to bring it to the base. Do not place it on the floor, because after some time it will just disappear. So either keep it on your chopper or place it in your acid bath. But if you don't have your acid bath assembled, do not place it on the floor because it's just gonna disappear and you're gonna waste your infected floppy crate. This is really important and a lot of people do not know this, so keep that in mind. Don't waste your floppy crate infected box. Tip number 16 is about tactical backpack. So if you don't have tactical backpack in the game yet, this is the best backpack that you can get, and the best way to get this tactical backpack is going to be at Sector 7. So make sure to spend some quality time and unlock your Sector 7. It's not really that expensive, especially right now. So unlock the Sector 7 and spend some time in that Sector 7, and after probably 2 weeks, you will be able to get this tactical backpack. After you get it, be really, really careful with it, but it's seriously gonna save you a lot of time. You're gonna have insane amount of space. So hey, get your tactical backpack and start unlocking your Sector 7. Tip number 17 is about how you should get your springs, factory parts, and carbon composites. So some of you already might have noticed that you can go to your recycler and recycle guns, but what a lot of you do not know is that if you are gonna recycle low durability guns, this is a full durability gun, but let's assume that this is gonna be like red durability weapon, right? If you're gonna recycle it, it's still gonna show you the same percentages, but you aren't gonna get any factory parts, you aren't gonna get any carbon composites. So if you wanna get those sweet carbon composites and factory parts, you have to recycle basically full durability guns. So keep that in mind, because if you're gonna keep recycling like literally 1% guns, maybe you're just gonna get a couple of springs, but if you wanna get factory parts, I highly suggest you recycling full durability guns. And again, if you just started playing the game out, don't even think about recycling guns. Don't recycle any guns when you started out the game. Every single gun is amazing in this game. Even zip guns, even Winchesters are the best, but if you're an advanced player, then recycle full durability guns to get factory parts and carbon composites. Because I do know that a lot of people waste literally hours and hours recycling low durability guns and complaining that they don't get anything, but little did they know is that if gun doesn't have any durability, you aren't gonna get any carbon composite and any factory parts. Tip number 18 is all about these blueprints. So after you learn a blueprint, you'll be able to go to your gunsmith bench and start assembling these blueprints. But as you can see, I haven't assembled a lot of blueprints here because most of these blueprints, I would say probably 90% of blueprints in this game aren't good at all. So first of all, make sure to do a little bit of research in which blueprints you should assemble, because let's say crafting this speed reloader for your shotgun most likely isn't going to be worth it because it costs 20 factory parts and it just gives you +1 speed. It's such a garbage blueprint that I wouldn't really suggest you crafting it at all unless you're a super rich player, but it's totally useless. I would never craft it. It costs you like 3 steel plates, and there's so many blueprints like that you would not want to craft. So make sure to do proper research first and don't craft garbage. Just craft top tier blueprints. You're not gonna burn on that. So if you really want to assemble your Sector 7 and you don't have these electronic circuits, because the biggest problem for people is going to be to get that electronic circuit. So the easiest way to get that electronic circuit is going to be by recycling mobile phones. You can find mobile phones basically everywhere in the forest, in the stone zone, in all the chests. Sometimes even zombies drop them. But as you can see, when you go to recycle your phones, you have 5% chance of getting an electronic circuit. This is at max level, and you're just gonna put 20 phones for the night, and hopefully you're gonna get that one electronic circuit, because thanks God you don't need really a lot of them. You can also try your luck by recycling these signal amplifiers, but they are kind of rare, so hey. So if you need your electronic circuit, definitely recycle your mobile phones. And also, if you didn't know, you can find your electronic circuits at the floppy crate location, so just make sure to do hard mode bunker alpha, and there you will be able to get that floppy crate, and from floppy crate you can find those electronic circuits. But probably the most efficient way and how I got that many electronic circuits is just by recycling mobile phones. And tip number 20 is that if you're planning to do police department, you do not need your full armor. You just need shoes to run faster and run away from the zombies. These zombies don't do a lot of damage, and they will just damage your armor, because most of those zombies just do chip damage, just like 2-6 damage. So you definitely do not need your armor. Just make sure to grab enough first aid kits and enough pairs of shoes if you are not using grenades or grenade launcher. But if you're using grenade launcher, then definitely have a full armor here. So these were 20 tips, but also have some really, really quick bonus tips, such as when you're farming in the red zone, definitely make sure to keep an eye on your health, because a dude with the VSS might spawn and he's just gonna kill you with one shot. So make sure that you have at least above like 60 or something health, because they're just gonna shred you. Another tip, that if you don't have any food, you can craft this spike trap and die on this spike trap at the base. This way you aren't gonna lose any resources, and your food meter and hunger meter and thirst meter are gonna reset. I know I said 3 meters, but whatever. And another kind of little of a tip is just that ATV still isn't in the game, so I highly suggest you to not put your engine parts in your ATV, because who knows what developers will decide to do. They've already done that to the chopper. They changed the recipe and people just lost some of their items. So I highly suggest you to not put your engine parts. Just keep them somewhere securely in whatever chest, because if you're gonna place 200 engine parts and then let's say ATV requires only 50, or it requires something more or something something happens to these engine parts, they're just gonna be gone. Most likely that might not happen, but they've done that so many times, I can't say that, hey, that's not gonna happen. Like, there's really a high chance. Doesn't matter what developers say. Don't put engine parts inside of your ATV because there is still a slight chance that something might happen to them. And if you need to find these connecting rods, then try your luck in the airdrops or at the red crates from Bunker Alpha. So I highly suggest you checking out this Last on Earth survival video where I start from the beginning and I teach players how to do Bunker Alpha and how to play the game properly. Or click here on the second card and you're gonna get some more information about randomly generated dungeons that are coming to Last on Earth survival. Or make sure to hop over to my channel and click playlist, and there I've played a lot of other games. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find something that you're really gonna like.